Hi friends, you welcome to Sri Guru Raghavendra Banking Coaching Center. So here we are discussing the current affairs related MCQs of 21st May. So then we'll start discussing one by one. Have a look at this first and foremost one. Which countries jointly launched a SMILE mission? A SMILE mission. Which countries jointly launched this mission? That is a question asked. So like India, Japan, US, Russia, Europe, China, France, Germany and China, Brazil. That is Europe and China introduced a concept called a program called SMILE mission. Then this SMILE stands for the solar wind magnetosphere ionosphere link explorer. So this was jointly launched by Europe and China to study the interactions between solar wind and Earth's magnetosphere. Solar wind and Earth's magnetosphere. So answer C is the correct one. Moving to the next one. So who was appointed as executive director of the Reserve Bank of India? Executive director recently ED. So that is Gunvir Singh appointed as a executive director of the Reserve Bank of India to strengthen the administrative and regulatory functions. Then he joined with this particular bank's ED. Gunvir Singh. Then executive of Gunvir Singh as a RBI appoints Gunvir Singh as a executive director. So the hierarchy of Reserve Bank of India we have seen. Then the governor followed by deputy governors, and these deputy governors followed executive directors. So then with effect from May 18th actually, this one. Gunvir Singh. So then generally then hierarchy is that governor, deputy governors and executive directors. So principal, chief, general manager. This is the hierarchy of RBI. And chief general manager, and deputy general manager and assistant general manager, assistant manager and support staff. These support staff RBI assistants. So RBI assistant, they become assistant manager, then they grow to manager, AGM, DGM, GM, CGM, PCGM, principal, chief general manager, like that they grow. And then the grade B officers, RBI grade B officers, directly they join as assistant managers. That's the point. So at present we have governor, anyways we know Sanjay Malhotra, deputy governors of 4 members, Swaminathan, Poonam Gupta, SC Murmu and Rohit Jain. Rohit Jain recently joined. So then that is the context here we have. Then I'll make a move to the next one. Which ministry launched the nationwide roadmap for she-marts? So then to make women entrepreneurs, to introduce women entrepreneurs, so Ministry of Rural Development recently initiated a concept called she marts. So the self-help groups related women, then they are allowed to get introduced a she mart as an entrepreneur, and then they to empower the women and to promote the women entrepreneurship and self-help groups products, to promote self-help group products, then they introduce this particular concept. So then by the Ministry of Rural Development. So don't get confused, then Ministry of Women and Child Development kuda undi. Confused avakandi, it's introduced by Rural Development. That's the point. Making move to the next one. Which organization successfully tested the drone launched ULPGM-V3 missile? So then who launched the adugutunnadu? So that is DRDO. DRDO launched this particular answer. C is the correct one. ULPGM is a drone V3. ULPGM V3. It is the unmanned aerial vehicle. Unmanned aerial vehicle launched precision guided missile version 3. If full forms adutadu, be careful. Is an advanced indigenous fire and forget missile developed by India's DRDO. So it is an indigenous fire and forget model. So we know cruise missiles are fire and forget. So this is also fire and forget missile developed by DRDO. So it's weighing around 12.5 kgs, and then transforms combat drones into offensive strike platforms capable of engaging both ground and low altitude aerial targets. That's the point. Moving to the next one. The Pragati 2026 military exercise hosted. Where was this particular Pragati 2026? That is Urmai. So Umroi military station of the Meghalaya. So then Umroi military station, Meghalaya. India hosted this multilateral exercise, military exercise. Multilateral military exercise 2026. Umroi military station, Meghalaya. Next one, World Meteorology Day, celebrated every year on 20th May. Answer B is the correct one. Annually on 20th May to mark the signing of the signing of Meter Convention. Meter Convention 1875. So on 1875, May 20th, this Meter Convention was introduced. Then the day is observed as a Meteorology Day. Meteorology Day. That's the concept here we have. This is not don't get confused with the meteorology. It's related to the climate. So meteorology related to the climate, and then this is not meteorology. It is not meteorology. It is a metrology. Metro or meter. So related to the meter. Metrology is different and the meteorology is different. It is related to the meteorology is related to the measures. కొలతలకు సంబంధించింది అన్నమాట. ఇది కొలతలకు సంబంధించి మీటర్, మిల్లీమీటర్, సెంటీమీటర్, ఆ మీటర్ అది దానికి రిలేటెడ్. బీ క్లియర్ విత్ దీస్ టూ వర్డ్స్. మెట్రాలజీ organization. So that is a part. So then answer B is the correct one. B is the correct one. Move to the next one. Where did scientists discover Earth's oldest air? Oldest air. Recently, then it is in news. We have Antarctica. Antarctica. Answer C is the correct one. Where the scientists extracted ancient air trapped deep inside the Antarctica ice, helping researchers study Earth's climate history. So that is Antarctica. Answer C is the correct one. Moving to the next one. Which city hosted 68th governing body meeting of the Asian Productivity Organization, APO? That is observed in New Delhi. Answer B is the correct one. That is the 68th governing body meeting. So then Asian Productivity Organization, APO. So answer B is the correct one. And moving to the next one. India's first air train project was approved for which airport? So then air train project was approved for, so then Delhi's IGI airport. Answer D is the correct one. Indira Gandhi International Airport. Indira Gandhi International Airport. For seamless passenger travel. For seamless passenger travel. So answer D is the correct one. Moving to the next one. How many gold medals did India win in the 11th Sanda World Cup? Sanda World Cup? Yeah. How many Sanda World Cup medals tally? Then we will see in this particular one. So options given 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That is the 11th Sanda World Cup. So then which was observed in Macau of China. So Indian team finished third overall in the medal tally with 2 gold. India with 2 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronze. 2 bronze medals. So then that is the context here we have. 2 gold medals. Then Shivani women's 75 kg category, and then gold Aparna Dahiya 52 kgs, women's 52 kgs. So bringing home both the countries gold medals. So then 11th edition of the Sanda World Cup. So then first position by China, second Vietnam, and India occupied third position. That is the context here we have. So how many gold medals? That is 2. Correct answer. Answer 2 is the correct one. Answer B is the correct one. Moving to the next one. Which organization imposed a 3-year ban on Ankit and Jayesh Patel after positive dope tests? So that is NADA. Anyways, Indian players. So answer C is the correct one. National Anti-Doping Agency, which is located in New Delhi, and imposed a 3-year ban. 3-year ban on these athletes tested positive. Who tested positive? That is the part. So then these are the MCQs for the day. We'll discuss some more in the coming session. Thank you and good day.